County Council regular meeting of March 12, 2013. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Calling the roll, Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Rogers? Here. Ms. Simon? Here. Mr. Greenspan?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Brady?
Here.
Mr. Germana?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Schron?
Here.
Ms. Conwell?
Here.
And Ms. Conley?
Here.
There is a quorum.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to have our guests lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For our moment of silence this evening, I would like to, for us to extend our prayers for the teens who lost their lives in the tragic automobile accident in Warren over the weekend, and for their surviving families and school classmates. May God grant them strength and comfort during this very difficult time. Item 5 on our agenda is public comment related to the agenda. Has anyone signed in for public comment?
Madam Chair, no one has signed in.
All right, item 6 is the approval of our minutes. The minutes from the work session for February the 26th, 2013 are in your packet on page 11, and the minutes from the regular meeting for February 26, 2013 are in your packet on page 13. If you've had an opportunity to review those minutes, we'll entertain a motion to adopt them as circulated.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Mr. Greenspan. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. This evening we have a very special presentation to recognize Dr. Terry Ryan, who has been with the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities since 1977. Dr. Ryan, if you'd like to come forward. Dr. Ryan has very many accomplishments, and just to list a few, he planned and implemented the reorganization of the school age and early childhood programs. He led the conversion of 2 schools into community-based early intervention centers. He developed a satellite public school program. He assisted the Cleveland municipal schools in planning and development of their programs for children with multiple handicaps. Dr. Ryan's contribution to the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities will be beneficial for this community for years to come. And we wish he and his wife, Ann, best wishes. What are you going to do like your first morning after you retire?
Actually, my daughter's going to have her second baby on the 29th. My last day is the 28th, so I'm going to go right into helping my daughter and her husband with our second grandchild.
Okay, that sounds like a worthy opportunity. And we'd like to congratulate you. And on behalf of all the residents of Cuyahoga County, and particularly Cuyahoga County Council, we'd like to present you with this resolution, this proclamation.
Thank you very much. That means an awful lot.
And in keeping with the thought, we'd like to also thank everyone for attending the art show that was in our lobby, and point out that artworks, which you have had an opportunity to see, and I guess some of the artists here. You want to raise your hand if you're one of our artists? Stand up. If you're one of our artists that has a piece of work in display. There is a shop in the Galleria. It's called Artworks, Gallery and Gifts, and it's a cooperative venture with the Cuyahoga County Developmental Disabilities and SAW Incorporated. So if you didn't see anything you liked here tonight, you can go to the Galleria, and it's open all of the time. And so I would like to call your attention and skip the agenda over to item 11 on our agenda this evening. And Madam Clerk, this is consideration of a resolution of council for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Do you want to read that resolution, please?
Resolution number 2013-0045, a resolution proclaiming the month of March 2013 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in Cuyahoga County. Look beyond and see our capabilities, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
We need a motion to suspend the rules pursuant to 12A and 9D. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germano. All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended. And is there a motion to move item 0045?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Mr. Schron. Is there any discussion? We're very pleased to have so many people here from the center to be a part of this, and we really thank you for your dedication, hard work, particularly in your artwork. And is there someone here that would like to make a statement? You want to come up?
Thank you, Mrs. Connolly, members of the board. And I'll just take a moment. This may be my last official public statement, but thank you so much for having us here today for the art show. In March, the Developmental Disability Awareness Month. This is a significant month for all people with developmental disabilities, a significant month for the board and all the people in this community that we represent. It was nice that some of them we had many of them come to the art show. I just want to thank you. I think we had our largest day selling art today. Ange, we did pretty good, didn't we?
Yeah, we sold over 20 pieces.
Over 20 pieces of art. That's just, you know. And also, just this wonderful commitment that the citizens of this community have made over our history, over our 45-year history. Me being part of it for 36 years, so I remember what it was like in the beginning when we were in church basements, old factory buildings, and most people were sheltered at home or in state institutions. Actually, there were 3 institutions in this community at one time. Without your help, and the help of many others, but this council, this government has been very supportive for the Board of Developmental Disabilities in providing the supports that are necessary for 12,000 people, often lifelong care, from cradle to death. It is a unique system. It's one of the best systems in the country. You should all be very, very proud of that. When you talk about Cuyahoga County, when I talk about Cuyahoga County, I'm very proud to say that we have the best service delivery system in the country for people with developmental disabilities. I give great credit to those who have supported us all these years. And more recently, yourself and Mr. Fitzgerald, in terms of your support for these people. Which means so much to me. You know, I've always wanted to make a difference, and the difference is them here tonight. They have jobs, they are in the community, they live in the community, they have friends, something that just a few decades ago wouldn't have been possible. So I appreciate so very much everybody working together on behalf of just a few of these people tonight. Now, if you need your buildings cleaned, we do great job cleaning services. All your buildings, and we have 16 buildings that are owned by the county, our people clean those buildings, and they are the best kept buildings in the county. I'm very proud of our workers. We just took over the food service over at the Payne Avenue building, and we're having great success there. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. But again, it can only happen with your ongoing and continued support. And I know as I leave, in fact, I have a letter. I had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Fitzgerald today. We had a great conversation. we've worked really hard to be in a strong position to go the years ahead. And we've tried to leverage everything we could to be very positive here. We work very cooperatively with all our partners, both public and private. And it is a real success story that you can always say, we do it the best here in Cuyahoga County. I'm a native New Yorker, but I'm an Ohioan and I'm a Cuyahoga County guy. And I've lived here 36 years. I'm going to stay here because I think it's the best place for me and my family and my grandkids and so forth. So I want to thank you for everything you've done for these people here. You have made a difference. And that's what really matters in the end of the day. Did we make a difference in life? And it's about the people in our lives that are so important. So I do thank you on behalf of them, although they'll tell you that too if you want to hear from them. Everybody there pretty happy? Yes. Yes? Can we give County Council and Mr. Fitzgerald a great round of applause for their help? Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I want all of your artists to, continue to work diligently because I think council is very interested in decorating our new building with the artwork from some of your artists. So
we're already working on the project. We thank you for that opportunity just a couple years away. That's exciting. That's exciting. The new building's exciting, and the Innovation Center, maybe they'll need some artwork too. You never can tell.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, all those in favor of item 0045 indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Mark it as unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. That concludes my items. Item 8, message from the county executive.
Thank you very much, Madam President. First, I had a long list of nice things to say about Terry Ryan, but I didn't know he's from New York, so I'm going to drastically streamline that. No, but what he said is exactly correct. We probably take it for granted because people have short memory of the way it used to be, and we don't realize some of the assets we have in this community. And I know I have a tendency of talking about things like the art museum and the orchestra and some other things. We need to talk about the human side of things and what the human heart has produced here. And he has just run such a stellar organization. I know he hasn't done it alone, and he's just been a great steward for a lot of people that wouldn't have had that kind of advocacy any other way. And so I just wanted to thank him personally for that on behalf of the county. Happy early St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Also, a couple federal issues that I wanted to mention. One is we had a press conference the other day about the sequester. I'm going to have my staff provide a memo to council members about other ways that we think that if the sequester is fully implemented, other ways that it might affect us. There are a couple quite notable ways, and the main thing that we mentioned in the press conference was pulling out the air traffic controllers that work by contract at the Richmond Heights Airport. This is a big deal, and we are talking to all of our congressional representatives about this. There's about $150 million in payroll that is based around the Richmond Heights Airport. Not everybody knows that. And it's not just, is somebody going to be inconvenienced that's flying a private plane? This is something that drives commerce, and it drives a lot of jobs, and is a real safety issue. To have planes landing there that are where you're trying to guide them from Hopkins is crazy, and it's a real problem. So we try to draw some attention to it, but there's a lot of other ways that this sequester, if it is fully implemented, is going to affect our services. Everything from Homeland Security grants to human services and everything in between. And I just think the council should be aware of that. And we are still trying to figure out exactly how it's going to affect us. It's such a disorganized process that we're not exactly sure when some of these things are going to hit us, if at all. So we'll continue to keep you informed about that. Our timing is good. We usually go to Washington once, sometimes twice a year to meet with our congressional delegation. We also meet with people from the administration. Director Jers and I are going to be going on the 19th and 20th of next month. If there are particular issues that you would like us to relate to our congressional delegation or to the administration on particular issues, please let us know, and we will relay those to them on your behalf if you would like us to. that concludes my remarks. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. You won't be getting a tour of the White House, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
All right, item 9, consideration of a motion of council for first reading and referral to committee, item 0012.
Motion number 2013-0012, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of various individuals to serve on the Group Plan Commission and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective. The individuals are listed on your agenda, items 9A, 1 through 4.
Human Resources. Item 10, committee reports and consideration of motions of council for second reading under suspension of the rules. These matters have all been to committee, and we need a motion to suspend Rule 9D that would require a third reading. And council, the committees have been satisfied that there's sufficient information to pass them without a third reading. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jemana. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules indicate by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Item 0003.
Motion number 2013-0003, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of individuals to serve on the Tax Incentive Review Councils and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective for the individuals as printed on the agenda, items 10A, 1 through 4.
Yes, Madam Chair. This committee recommends confirmation of the 4 individuals that was read into the record for the Tax Incentive Review Council. The TIRC is an advisory body that reviews the company's performance of contractual items that are offered in exchange for a reduction of real property taxes. Items such as the real property, investment, job, retention, creation, and other like criteria determine the length and percentage of the exemption.
So it's moved by Ms. Conwell. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Schron. All right, any discussion, any more information on that? All those in favor of the confirmation indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0004.
Motion number 2013-0004, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of James R. Woolley to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Defender Commission and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective.
Move to a second.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Do you want to be heard on this, Ms. Conwell?
Madam President, the committee recommends confirmation of Mr. James R. Woolley to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Defenders Commission. This commission is a 5-member body that is formed pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 120, and Cuyahoga County's Public Defender Commission has 5 members, 3 of whom are appointed by the county, and 2 of whom are appointed by the presiding judge of the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. And this body appoints the county public defender, is charged with various tasks, including determining the staffing levels of the office of the county public defender's office.
All right, any further discussion on that item? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0005.
Motion number 2013-0005, a motion confirming the county executive's reappointment of various mayors to serve on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective. The individuals are the Honorable Michael P. Byrne for the South Central Region and the Honorable Robert Blomquist for the Southwest Region.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Miller. Any discussion on this, Ms. Conwell?
Madam Chair, this committee recommends confirmation for the reappointment of Honorable Mayor P. Byrne and Honorable Robert Blomquist to continue to serve on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission. This commission has 11 members. The county is divided into 7 regions. I won't list them all. Each region has 1 city leader serve on the Planning Commission, and the remaining 4 spots on the Planning Commission come from the city of Cleveland. And Cuyahoga County has 3 selections. The members serve 3-year terms and serve without compensation. Commission members may be reappointed.
All right, any other questions?
Madam Chair, can you add my name?
Please add Mr. Jemana's name as support, as a sponsor, rather. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 11, we've already disposed of. Item 12, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2013-0046, a resolution amending resolution number 2012-0076, which governed the county's acceptance and use of funds from the Soldiers and Sailors Monument Support Group.
This matter is referred to Finance and Budget. Hopefully, this will be the final disposition of these items regarding the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, but you will consider it in committee. Item 13, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This is our biennial operating budget, the amendments to it. We need a motion to suspend Rule 12A and 9D.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germana to suspend the rules. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, 0047.
Resolution number 2013-0047, a resolution amending the 2012-2013 biennial operating budget for 2013 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources, for appropriation transfers between budget accounts and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Ms. Conwell. These items appear on page 59 of the booklet indicating all the transfers. Mr. Miller, did you have any comment on any of these?
Madam President and my colleagues, these are routine transfers and appropriations of funds. In keeping with the theme of the day, the key item in this list is a transfer of $1.6 million within the Department of Developmental Disabilities.
All right, any other questions or discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 14 is a resolution of council for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This is an item that we discussed in executive session, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and had an opportunity to get the information. We could vote on it now, but if there are additional questions, we could continue this and have this at the end of the agenda, and more questions in executive session. But if there's sufficient readiness, we can vote on it now. I think we had a pretty thorough explanation from Mr. Lambert, and then this has been discussed in the newspaper. Is there any other questions? You satisfied with voting on it now? It's Ms. Simon?
Madam President, I don't know if there's terms other than a monetary award that this council needs to look at.
Can you answer that? It's $128,000. Having the defendants are notified. I anticipate that a goodly number of these people will not come in and ask for their $50 or $75.
Yes.
For fear that warrants will be checked and drug tests and probation violations checked. So that money I don't think we'll probably end up paying out the whole $128,000, having had a few years' experience with this population.
I would agree with you, Madam Chairwoman, but that I would also caution that the money that's actually going to the claimants, other than Mr. Dombroff, who's going to get $2,362, is a relatively small amount, $32,000. So if the participation rate on a $32,000 is 50%, which is probably an optimistic number, we're talking $16,000. The bulk of this money is actually legal fees, and there's no doubt that the lawyers will pick up their checks for the legal fees. So I don't anticipate that the number will go down drastically, but it might go down somewhere on the order of $15,000 to $20,000. Is that helpful?
Are you prepared to vote? Do you want us to go to the executive session?
No, the question that I had, are there terms other than a monetary award that this council might want to consider? Other than a monetary award, are there other terms?
The other terms that are in the settlement agreement?
Yes.
Yes, Councilman Simon. The settlement agreement essentially puts a burden on the sheriff, who is a named defendant, to establish a policy that says that if a suburb sends down a person who's been arrested without a warrant, and that person has not had a bond hearing or a bond hearing within 48 hours, that the sheriff will not accept custody of that person. There's an exception to that in case of serious felons, people charged with murder, rape, and other first-degree felonies. So there's the ability of the sheriff to say that even though that the suburb has not promptly had a bond hearing for these felony arrestees, that we'll take custody of them nonetheless, because we don't want to have a person charged with capital murder or something being sent back out to a municipal court and then await for a indictment, direct indictment or something. But for most of the thing that this is aimed at is the vast majority of felony arrestees who are lower level felony arrestees. So if they're not processed promptly, then the sheriff will not accept them into the jail. That's essentially the bulk. That and the monetary portion is essentially the entire, the main parts of the settlement.
Oh, okay. I just, as long as the council's satisfied that there's now a new duty imposed upon the county as part of the settlement, I don't know if it would be wise to hear any of that.
We had I think that was the week you were out, we had a fairly long discussion in executive session on the various details of it.
The settlement agreement?
Yeah. And the mechanics of how it would work out in terms of the prisoners and picking them up and all that. Okay, you satisfied? Because we can still go into executive session. Ms. Simon, are you satisfied? Yeah. I said the council satisfied. Okay, all right. All right, is there a motion to suspend the rules then?
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All right, it's moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jabana to suspend the rules. All those in favor of suspending the rules indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Now, did we read this one yet? Okay.
Resolution number 2013-0048, a resolution authorizing a stipulation for entry of consent decree in the total amount of $128,268 in connection with Andrew Dumroff versus Cuyahoga County et al., United States District Court Case Number 1:12CV2189, authorizing the county executive to execute the consent decree and all other documents consistent with this resolution, authorizing the appropriation of funds for payment of settlement amounts set forth herein, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
All right, any other questions or discussion before we call for a vote? Oh, yes, we do.
So move.
Second. Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Now, any other discussions or questions? Like I said, we had a long discussion. The sheriff was here. We went through a lot of the details. In fact, Sheriff Boba is here now. If there's any questions of him. But it is the mechanics of getting these cases down from the suburban courts. And it will also be part of some of the changes that we're undertaking under Mr. Fitzgerald and our new plan for the justice system. And so it involves some of that also. All right, any other question, discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, item 15, consideration of a resolution for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2013-0049, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of Marks Road Culvert 01.03 in the city of Strongsville. Total estimated construction cost $127,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This now referred to the Public Works Committee.
Resolution number 2013-0050, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Crossview Road from Chestnut Road to Rockside Road in the city of Seven Hills Total estimated construction cost, $1,210,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0051, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of East Ridgewood Drive from Broadview Road to Crossview Road in the cities of Parma and Seven Hills. Total estimated construction cost $770,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements of cooperation with said municipalities in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter will go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0052, a resolution making an award on requisition number 25997 to Perk Company Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $5,191,490 for repair and resurfacing of Snow Road from West 130th Street to Ridge Road in the cities of Parma and Parma Heights. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution. Authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicle $5 license tax funds in the amount of $1,038,298 to fund said contract, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter goes to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0053, a resolution authorizing an economic development loan in the amount not to exceed $1,280,000 to Kennedy Viking Property Investment for purchase and improvement of a facility located at 31390 Viking Parkway, Westlake. Authorizing the Deputy Chief of Staff of Development or Director of Development to execute all documents consistent with said loan and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter goes to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2013-0054, a resolution making an award and requisition number 23384 to Cardinal Health 411 Incorporated in the amount of $2,400,000 for pharmaceutical supplies for the period April 1, 2013 through March 31, 2016. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to Public Safety.
Resolution number 2013-0055, a resolution authorizing various revenue-generating agreements with Council for Economic Opportunities in Greater Cleveland for lease of space at various Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities Centers for operation of Head Start programs for the period March 1, 2013 through January 31, 2014. Authorizing the county executive to execute the agreements and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for these centers as printed on the agenda, items G1 and 2.
Goes to Health and Human Services. Item 16, committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. These matters have been to committee, and the committee suggests that there is no reason for additional hearings, so move Rule 9D to suspend the third reading. Mr. Gallagher.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jimana to suspend the rules. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Item 0031.
Resolution number 2013-0031, a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Metro Health System in the amount not to exceed $1 million for various jail medical services at the Cuyahoga County Corrections Center for the period March 16, 2013 through December 31, 2013. Authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Schron. Mr. Gallagher.
This was heard before the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee, and the recommendation is adoption for jail medical services provided by Metro Health Hospital. And we gratefully thank the cooperation of our partners at Metro Health for working with us in the jail system.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on that? Comments? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0036.
Resolution number 2013-0036, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of Boston Road Culvert 07.74 in the city of Broadview Heights. Total estimated construction cost $780,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Jones.
And Madam President, this resolution was heard in our committee, and there's an average daily traffic of 1,300 vehicles on Boston Road, and this traffic will be detoured when the construction project starts in 2014.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0037.
Resolution number 2013-0037, a resolution making an award on requisition number 25797 to Carvo Paving Company in the amount not to exceed $1,345,636.15 for resurfacing Columbus Road from Center Street to West 25th Street in the city of Cleveland. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution. Authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicles $7.50 license tax funds in the amount of $1,076,508.92 to fund said contract, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Jones.
And Madam President and my colleagues, there's a lift bridge that's being replaced, and it will detour traffic from Columbus Road. So as a result, this resolution is coordinating having Columbus Road resurfaced while this lift bridge is being replaced. The project came in 17% under our county estimated cost. Our estimated cost was $1.625 million. They did reach their SBE goal of 30%, and the project will take place between June and September of this year. And again, I ask my colleagues to support this for passage.
Thank you. Any other questions, discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0038.
Resolution number 2013-0038, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities for participation in the Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program for the period January 1, 2013 through December 31, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Miller. Do you want to be heard on this, Ms. Conwell?
Yes, Madam Chair. Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities has requested to participate in the county's benefit regionalization program. This is an agreement similar to the other smaller municipalities we have agreements with. There is no risk to the county, and the participant can withdraw at any time. So this committee recommends passage.
And this is a part of the pattern that Mr. Greenspan's been talking about in his committee, where the county provides these services to either municipalities or agencies, and expands the role of the county. And I did learn at the committee meeting that the county doesn't have to take in an agency. If a municipality or an agency comes to seek these aid and their risk factor is not what the county wants, then we don't have to take them. But when it's available, it's certainly the benefit to these types of agencies and small municipalities. So this is a very good program, and Mr. Greenspan will be talking about that in addition in his committee. All right, any other questions, discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0040.
Resolution number 2013-0040, a resolution making an award on requisition number 25951 to Great Lakes Petroleum Company in the amount not to exceed $1,272,000 for middle distillates for various county facilities for the Department of Public Works for the period May 1, 2013 through April 30, 2015. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Rogers. Mr. Jones, you want to be heard on this?
Simply, the Great Lakes Petroleum Company was the lowest bidder for this diesel fuel.
I just want to say, I had never heard of middle distillates till I got elected to this council.
Like regular gas or diesel.
Oh, okay.
This is the diesel.
All right, any other questions or discussions? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0041.
Resolution number 2013-0041, a resolution making an award on requisition number 25945 to Great Lakes Petroleum Company in the amount not to exceed $1,272,000 for gasoline for various county facilities for the Department of Public Works for the period May 1, 2013 through April 30, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Jones.
And Madam President, this is the regular gas
Okay.
for our vehicles. And I will commend our Public Works Department as they have worked to consolidate the vehicles that we use. That has also transformed into a savings in gas usage. So here we have, again, our lowest bidder is the Great Lakes Petroleum, and I recommend this for passage by my colleagues.
Okay. Any other questions, discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0042.
Resolution number 2013-0042, a resolution making an award on requisition number 26030 to YMCA of Greater Cleveland Foundation in the amount not to exceed $750,000 for transitional housing and case management services for the Open Door Housing Program for the period March 1, 2013 through February 29, 2016. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Mr. Miller. Do you want to be heard on this, Mr. Brady?
Madam Chairperson, this and the following two items were heard in Health and Human Services Committee. This particular resolution awards a 3-year contract to the YMCA to provide services for 40 to 60 formerly incarcerated men per year. This is a reentry initiative designed to reduce recidivism by producing stable housing for a period up to 18 months. It's 100% funded by Health and Human Service levy. I recommend its passage.
Thank you. Any other questions, discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 0043.
Resolution number 2013-0043, a resolution authorizing agreements with various providers in the total amount not to exceed $6,867,149.90 for child support services for the period January 1, 2013 through December 31, 2013. Authorizing the county executive to execute the agreements and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective, with the providers and in the amounts not to exceed as printed on the agenda, items H1 through 3.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Mr. Miller. Any discussion on this? Mr.
Madam Chairperson, this resolution and the following one are agreements required by the federal government in order that the county may be reimbursed up to 66% of the cost of collecting child support. I recommend this resolution and the following one's passage.
Are any other questions, discussions? All those in favor indicate by...
I just want to point out that these particular agencies, the courts are graded on their administration and effectiveness, and again, I just want to point out that the Division of Domestic Relations, the prosecutor's office, came back with some really good ratings, and the juvenile court itself is still behind the other courts, and hopefully they're going to continue on with the plan. And I just wanted to point that out, that this is probably the third time I've looked at this particular grading system. So I don't know if that was brought up in committee, but I just wanted to keep council apprised.
Are you saying that the domestic relations is doing a good job and juvenile is not? Is that what you're saying?
If in committee, if this was in the packet when this came to us, in our information that was disseminated to all council members, this was reviewed when I was handling this particular issue. But yeah, both prosecutor and domestic relations court came back with high scores in administrating these funds, and juvenile court still is having difficulty with this particular program of establishment of child support and these other programs. So council might want to take a look at that. I just wanted to let council know that this is probably the third time I've seen that they have not changed their strategy in implementing establishment of child support, modification, and enforcement. And they have a plan they're working on, but all I'm doing is pointing this out to council. So when we don't have much say in how this money is distributed. It's federal money. It has to flow here. But I think we just have to be cognizant of how responsive the court's being to the request that at least my committee made, that they come back with a plan.
Madam Chairperson, we appreciate the councilwoman's input and her concern.
All right, is there any other discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Item 0044.
Resolution number 2013-0044, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Cuyahoga County Treasurer's Office in the amount not to exceed $42,289.14 for child support services for the period January 1, 2013 through December 31, 2013. Authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Mr. Miller. And Mr. Brady, did you want to add anything? This is the same as the last item. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 17, consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2013-0027, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1200-357 with Kaiser Foundation Health Plan of Ohio for group health care benefits for county employees and their eligible dependents for the period January 1, 2012 through December 31, 2012, to exercise an option to extend the time period to December 31, 2013, and for additional funds in the amount of $8,694,139.68, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move for approval.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Miller. This matter has had 3 readings. Is there anything that anyone wants to add to it?
No, Madam Chair, only other than Kaiser is our only fully insured HMO product, and this contract must go to the Ohio Department of Insurance annually to be approved prior to council's adoption. And this is the second year of a 3-year contract. This year's contract request is over $8.5 million, and that's a little roughly over $500,000 from last year. The anticipation for 2014 will be 9.2, and it will be adjusted as they look through the actual experience and go through the remainder of 2013. The amount is a combination of the employee and the employer contributions, and the premiums are paid monthly from the general fund and employee deductions. And during the committee, at this time, there is not enough aggregate data from our wellness initiatives to make a determination if there has been an impact on the claims at all, but will be closely tracked by the EBI consultants, and they should get back to us in mid-year.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 18, committee reports and consideration of ordinance for second reading.
Ordinance number 2013-0008, an ordinance providing for adoption of various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
This matter will be on for third reading for the 27th.
Ordinance number 2013-0009, an ordinance establishing the Cuyahoga County-wide preventive maintenance program and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
This matter will be on for the 27th. Item 19, consideration of an ordinance for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2013-0007, an ordinance establishing the Cuyahoga County-wide inspection program and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Mr. Rogers, and I believe there is an amendment. Mr. Jones?
Madam President, and this ordinance's amendment to Section 2 is simply to further clarify the fact that the participating municipalities shall reimburse the county for these bridge inspection services. So I make a motion that Section 2 be amended in ordinance for this ordinance.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Gallagher to amend item 0007. Any discussion on the amendment? I'd just like to point out that this makes this ordinance consistent with the last ordinance. So what we're doing here is the county is providing services to smaller municipalities for bridge inspection. I think the other one had to do with road inspection. And this just clarifies that it's financially neutral for the county, so these cities will be reimbursing us. It's actually saved the cities so they don't have to maintain these kinds of services, then the county can do it for them. So it's, once again, sort of expansion of county services. So,
An example of regionalism.
right. All right, so all those in favor of the amendment indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The ordinance is so amended. Is there any discussion on the amended ordinance, on the merits? Yes.
I'd just like to have my name added.
Okay, add Mr. Miller's name, please. Okay, any other further discussion? All those in favor of the ordinance as amended indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, any miscellaneous committee reports? Ben?
Madam President, the Council Operations and Intergovernmental Relations Committee will meet on the 18th, on Monday at 9 a.m. Director Mowry will be presenting county's collaboration efforts and opportunities within our county for various political subdivisions. We will then meet again on April 1st. At that time, Public Works and Director Teeuwen will be presenting. And then we've had in committee the public records legislation. On February 22nd, the county archivist, a representative from the law department, and our council clerk will be presenting amendments to the public records policy. I'm sorry, April 22nd. April 22nd. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
Madam President.
Mr. Miller?
Finance and Budget will meet at our regular time on Monday, the 18th at 1 o'clock, and we'll hear the item regarding the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. Thank you.
Is Mr. Gallagher going to be available for that time? I mean, it's the day after St. Patrick's Day, and we don't know if he's going to be.
100%.
Okay. Anyone else?
Chairperson, the Health and Human Services Committee will not meet tomorrow, but will meet on the 20th, the following, it's Wednesday now, to hear the legislation that's been introduced.
Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair. This is just a discussion. As some of you know, Mr. Doug Cooper, a council-appointed hearing officer on the Board of Revision, has given notice of his resignation effective Friday, March 29th. And this resignation creates an opening on the hearing board for a non-Democrat appointee to fill a term ending on January 31st of 2014. The Department of Human Resources has informed us that because of the most recent non-Democratic hearing officer was appointed within the past 6 months, council can rely on that previous hearing process to fill this vacancy by extending an offer to the runner-up of the candidate. And in an effort to minimize any interruption in the service that the Board of Revision provides, I will be introducing a motion to appoint the second of the top two candidates from the prior process to this position on the March 27th council meeting to be effective on April 1st. So he actually, as the other guy leaves, the other one could be appointed if no one has any concerns regarding this.
Okay, thank you. Anything further?
Just that Human Resources Appointment and Equity will meet Tuesday, March 17th at 10 a.m.
March 17th is Sunday. 19th. Okay.
And Madam President, the Public Works Committee will not meet tomorrow, but we will meet next Wednesday, the 20th, to deal with the items referred to today.
Anything further? Our next committee of the whole will be on Tuesday, March the 19th at 1 o'clock. We will have Sheriff Bova on the hot seat, along with the designees for Clerk of Courts, Ms. Rocco and Mr. Parks, for confirmation hearings. And that will be at 1 o'clock and should probably last a couple hours. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be on Wednesday, March the 27th. Our ordinary day would be on Tuesday, the 26th. However, that is the first night of the Jewish holiday, so we have transferred our meeting to Wednesday, the 27th. Is there any other miscellaneous business before this council? Is there any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
And is there anything else before they go to this council? If not, we stand adjourned.